kind of work have you done in the past? Warehouse, warehousing. When did you last work? Oh my gosh. ISP, troubleshoot. Wasn't very good at relying on that. When did I last work? I was at 20. Good God. When did I last? 2016, 2019. God, I don't know. 2019. What kind of work did you do out of work? Out of work, Social Security. For how long? Wait. Are you working now? What kind of work do you do at that? Oh wait. Do not this destiny be erased. God. What kind of work did you do at that time here? Warehousing, God. What kind of work have you done in the past? I mean, when did you last work at that time? Okay, hold on. That was, God. It was, insulation. Insulation. I don't remember the company in Carson City. Insulation packing. For how long? It was like for 3 days. 3 days, and they had me quit. It was like 4 days. Are you working now? No Social Security. Social Security, I guess supplement, I don't know what it's called, or disability. How did you get along in your workplace? Oh God, I guess good, sure. All the jobs you had, and why did you left each job on the back of this form? God. Daily activity, where do you live now? House. Number of people too in your household. With whom do you live? Family. Mother. Do you sleep well? Yes. Any changes in sleep? No. Are you eating well? Yes. Any changes in appetite recently? No. I'm actually hungry right now. Please list on the back of this for all the jobs you've had and when and why. Dude, oh God, who can remember all that? That's a lot. Just give me to the. God, that's weird. Do you dress yourself? Yes. Bathe yourself? Cook? Yes. Household chores? Yes. Cook, errands, drive, shop. Are your activities limited by your mental condition? No. Not really, dude. Yes, God. How does this mental condition limit your activities? How long at a time are you able to go out, shop, visit friends, dude? Whatever. God. How long to go out, shop, visit with friends? 8 hours and minutes. This is strange. What outside activities do you have? Do you ride a bicycle? How long at a time are you able to go out, dude? Whenever. No specific amount of hours. Just good God. It's just whenever. Name your hobbies. Researching. Research reading books. Bicycle. Oh my Very advice researching this. You pay your own handling that, and sure, dude, it's automatic. Auto pay. There's your transportation car. Do you move out alone? Yes. How do you relate to people who don't daily contact? I guess that's not fair. I don't know. You good? I don't know. You good but fair. Just twice. That's maybe just thinking like it's just there. Just mark core on there right now. Strange questioning.
Yes.
I just like who keeps. I don't quite keep track of like how long I go out. It's just whenever when I spur of the moment go shopping and.
Just take your best guess.
Yeah.
It doesn't have to be.
Excellent, good, fair. And just a fair for. Do on a daily basis. Try to figure out the future, try to figure out produce my life. Routine, if you become disabled. It's a lot. I asked for job history, and that's a lot to go off the memories. That's something I can just submit to you later.
Well, you can just summarize. I worked in this industry during these years.
Okay, well, I kind of got it on another block here. I did warehousing and I troubleshooted at ReliNet, and I got Convergys.
Yeah, just write that down.
Wasn't very good at it.
It doesn't have to be precise.
Okay, cool. We gotta be continuous, submit. What is your birth date? What city are you today? What do we know? Today's the 15th. The capital of Spain is Madrid. Let's see, somewhere. I live in colony. Right there, I live in colony 7. Okay. So that would be H. United States government, form of government would be, wow. That's kind of interesting, the United States form of government. I guess it would be representative democracy, but the people out there just say it's a republic, and that's a confusing mess, huh?
Yeah, do the one you think is best. I mean, they're not perfect, I understand.
Thank you.
And a trick is to do the easy ones first.
Yeah.
Every answer is used only once.
Uh-huh.
So like, what is the day after Sunday?
Right, it would be Monday.
Monday. So,
J.
put Monday there, I think it's J, cross out J, you won't use that one again.
Right.
And then when you get a number of them done, then you can say, well, this looks a little more like that than that. So, but nothing bad happens if you miss one, of course.
So Britain's form of government would be C, constitutional monarchy. This is interesting questioning right here, author of War and Peace. Tolstoy. I never read it, but I'm aware that Tolstoy wrote the author of the movie, Mark Twain. First day, Tuesday after first Monday in November. Huh? First Tuesday after the first Monday in November. That's an interesting question. First Monday now. Losing them. F0. B. Election day. Okay. There we go. Okay, that number 4 was a tricky question. At least it, wait a minute, okay. Can't be with the best.
Let me ask you.
Sure. Yeah, it's a cool picture. Yeah, 2 dogs. Yeah, it was a poodle, a toy poodle, and a.
It's the big dog, the adult dog is a husky. Looks like a pit bull, but I don't think it is. But she's a mix. The little dog is a puppy. She's only a little over 8 weeks old, and she's a purebred Australian Shepherd.
Oh wow.
I went with my son, daughter-in-law, and granddaughter to Grass Valley yesterday to pick up the puppy.
Oh wow. Yeah, my parents had a Australian Shepherd back in the 80s when we lived on Santa Fe Way in North Island. Yeah, they named it Aussie. Cool dog. But shame what happened. Somebody kicked in the fence boards, and they got hit by a train.
Oh.
Yeah. Okay, this one's this is something you said. Okay, here we go. Say yes, agree. Start it again. Let's start it again. Yes, agree. Death sign. J. Put someone down. Digging. Something to sit on. Couch. Conversation. Oh, dude, okay. This is interesting. These are kind of make me think. These are some thinking questions here. Stop making people follow rules, pay tax. Insane, I guess. That's why. Page. Attach pieces of paper together. Stay ready. So what did I miss on here? Start. Begin. Oh, okay, gee, commence. corn's considered a living thing. I guess the vegetable, they have nerves.
It grows.
Yeah. Fine, and to be saved. Why do we obey the Stephen of that and to be saved, not to harm anybody? It's all safety. Why we guys? I got like terrible gum disease going on. Brush my teeth. I need to see a dentist. So why do we floss? To safety. Why do governments have passports? This last section 6 is difficult.
It is, yeah, those expressions aren't used as much as they used to be.
No.
But still, you can figure it out, and some of it used.
What happens if I just can't answer, like, do you just skip it or no?
Well, you might as well guess. A good student never leaves anything
That's,
blank.
yeah.
You might get it right. There's no penalty for guessing. It's not really a test in the usual sense because we're trying to understand you, not judge you.
Don't jump to conclusions, the last one. Words, I guess I don't, here, I think I got it, let's see. There you go.
Now, normally I would go ahead and we'd talk, but another psychologist, Dr. Loring, is coming, and I want to wait until she gets here to do that. So this was going to be for later, but to fill the time until she gets here, I wonder if you'd be good enough to.
You know, my mother's name is Susan.
Yeah, you said that.
So what's this? That is
It's questions about the court,
okay,
and I'll just be right outside.
sure. Today's date is Miss Bias, my mother's name is Susan too. Lori Ann Matthias. The judge has the same name as Julie Ann Bicep, but the restraining order we begin with in Judge Camille Beccarelli, accused out of bias, and John Sluggo Milch. It's weird. Wrote my father a letter about bias. My father, William Francis Dunn, was a juror at John Sluggo Milch's court, and now I might have a trial at the same judge's courthouse. I'm not biased. Just do this truthfully. That's all I ask for. Today's date is February 15th, 2026. 1980, education 12. Wow. I just not guilty by reason of insanely drunk, go to trial with a plea or not guilty. Wait a minute. I'm not going to trial. What the heck? Guilty. I'm not even familiar what a lay witness is. Can only speak to facts as they limit us. This is more to me.
Yeah, you're not expected to be a lawyer and know all of it. Just some of it is generally known, so just write down what you know.
All right.
And fill them all out, choose one or the other. And again, nothing bad happens if you miss one.
All right, cool, thank you.
Yes, sir. Thank you for coming.
Are you a priest? I looked you up online, said that you were a former priest.
No, I think I know what happened. I wrote this book with Julius Rogina.
Yeah, I saw that too.
Yeah, and he is well, actually, he's still a priest. He's an Episcopal priest.
Oh, it said,
He used to be a Catholic priest.
okay, yeah, it said Jesuit priest online from the Google AI.
He was.
Oh, that's interesting.
Now he's with the Episcopal Cathedral across the street.
Wow.
But he and I did this together. That could be here in the bio. I'm not sure. Yeah, Dr. Rogina, as a former Jesuit priest and now an Episcopal priest, he brings a spiritual dimension to his clinical practice and psychological writings.
That's interesting.
That's correct. Oh, hi. Come on in. This is
Hello.
Billy Dunn. This is
How are
Dr.
you?
Loring. Just have a seat, Susan. Oh, yeah. I'm sorry you had
put it
to
on
download it or something. I have plenty of copies here.
Thank you.
Billy and I were just talking kind of about that book because he was asking me if I was a former priest, which of course I am not. And it was kind of confusing because Julius is a former Jesuit priest.
Oh, he's a former Jesuit.
And now an Episcopal priest.
Oh, cool. Have you read the 1920 version of the Desiderata?
No, I have
I'll
not.
send you a copy.
Oh, if you would, thank you. I think I know the answer.
Well, because you're supposed
then the Georgia test, the D-cert, and the ILK.
So we can
But
do
you
it
were,
at the end.
I didn't wanna go ahead and do the interview until you
I'm
got
happy to
here.
do it, or unless you want to do
But,
it.
no, that's fine, whatever you wanna do.
Okay.
But whatever you wanna do now, he can interrupt that, or you can let him finish that, whatever you wanna
How
do.
much do you think you have left, Mr. Dennis?
On here, I'm on, question 22, so,
Number 14.
oh god.
So, would you like to pause that and just go through a few questions with me, and then we can go back to that?
Sure.
So, Mr. Dunn, as you may know, this is a competency evaluation, and the court orders 2 doctors to do those. And then if the doctors have differing opinions, then they will order a 3rd opinion.
All right.
So you'd get another one from someone else. We have to write reports and send them to the judge, so it's not confidential. Also, your lawyer and the district attorney get a copy of the report as well.
All right.
But they can't use anything you tell us today for you or against you in your case. Because it's only about competency, not guilt or innocence or anything about what happened in the charge.
Right.
Okay?
All right.
Any questions? If you do have questions, you're welcome to ask them at any time.
Okay.
So I have just one charge here. Do you have more than one charge?
Me?
Yes.
I have no chart.
You have no charge. You think-
Oh, I thought you said chart.
A charge.
As far as I know, one charge,
Just one charge, okay.
just a TPO violation from, August 2025. The, public defender and his assistant Crystal is telling me that all they're aware of is just one charge right now.
Okay. Do you know what level of charge that is?
It's just a Class C felony.
Very good.
I did call the district attorney office and they're saying there's a second case, but I called Cale Brock afterwards and Crystal, and they told me over the phone and over email that they're only aware of one charge, so.
Okay, so that's fine. That's what we have here, that's what we're dealing with. If you get another charge, then it might require another evaluation, I don't know.
He had me sign a waiver December 16th, and they threw me to arraignment. Judge Sean Slugglemull just, what's interesting is they might do a trial on me. My father was a juror at Slugglemull's court back in September 2016, and he even wrote my father a letter, a thank you letter for his time as a juror.
That's interesting.
So, and Camille recused this case out of bias, and it's a weird process
So
going on.
make sure you tell your attorney all those details.
Okay.
So, if somebody was found guilty of a charge like this, do you know what kind of time they might have to serve?
I found out on my own, actually through Samuel Figueroa. It was 1 to 5 years. Kel Brock never even told
1
me.
to 5, okay,
Yeah.
and where would they have to serve that time?
I don't know, either jail or Lovelock.
So, if it's a felony, where do you think they might?
I don't know. I'm guessing it would be a state prison or a
Probably.
county jail. I don't know.
Okay, well, felonies are in jail, oh, sorry,
In
prison.
prison, okay.
Yeah, okay. What did they accuse you of? Now, I'm not asking if you agree with it or not.
Right.
Okay,
What-
but what are they accusing you?
They're making gestures at me in the front yard. I'm walking down the street and they're asking me where I'm going. It's like this all the time. My mom actually had to call the sheriffs out last week on them, and they actually put a restraining order on them before.
So,
Who are you talking about?
The people across the street.
Okay.
But
but what is the court, what did the
I
police?
typed a threatening post on Facebook. It was in self-defense. It was stupid of
So they're
me.
accusing you of typing, we're not gonna put with you.
It was in the job group.
Typing a threatening
Yeah, in the Facebook job group.
post to a Facebook job group?
Yeah.
I don't know what a job group is. Okay. And, what do they say? We're just gonna go with what they say, cause you can discuss with your attorney if you did it or not.
Right.
We don't really care. So what do the police claim you said in this post?
You know what? I haven't seen it.
You haven't read your police report?
It was a threatening post is what it said. On
Okay.
faith, that was all. There was no
So you
clarification.
don't know what it said?
It was so long ago. I just typed a stupid. It was just dumb. It was,
Too long ago.
Yeah, it was
Okay.
back in August.
So this paperwork claims you said you were going to beat up Miss Julia, what's her last name?
Vice.
Yeah, that's what they're claiming.
Yeah, they were, they ran up on me in the car one day while I was at the mailbox, and yeah, I probably typed out, I was upset, there was no intent to go through with it, just very upset at how,
So don't confess to me, because I don't wanna put any of that in my report.
okay,
Make sure you give all the guilt or innocence stuff to your attorney.
alright,
Because that's privileged information when you talk to your attorney.
okay.
Okay, do you know what confidentiality means?
It means this is supposedly between you and the attorney,
That's
or
right,
me and the
they cannot
attorney.
repeat a word you say to them.
Okay,
But I don't have that with you,
alright.
so don't tell me anything.
Okay, well, it sounded like you were getting me to answer that to you, so I
I
answered.
just wanna know if you understand what they're claiming.
Okay, I guess so, yeah.
Okay, so that's good, they claim you were typing a threatening post on Facebook, to who?
As the person that,
What's her name?
Julia Bice, yeah.
Julia Bice, how do you spell
Julia
it?
Ann Bice,
What's her, how do you spell her?
B-Y-S-E,
B-Y-S-E.
yeah.
Okay. And, so why is it called a violation of an extended order to type that to Miss Julia?
What's that?
Why are they calling this charge a violation?
I don't, because it was out, it was because I'm not supposed to say, it's weird because they're yelling things at me and I can't say anything back to them, and so it was a violation of the.
What was it they claimed you were violating?
The post violated the TPO.
Violated a TPO?
Yeah.
Because it violated a TPO that was in place before?
Yeah.
Okay, and why did they put a TPO on you before?
God.
They claimed something about you.
Yeah, because I don't know,
Just say what
threatening,
they claimed.
just some threatening, I guess.
Something
I
threatening.
guess.
Because of claims
Yeah.
that you were threatening.
Yeah.
Okay, I'll just put because of claims of being threatening, okay?
Yeah, my mother Susan put a restraining order on them back in June of 2025.
Your
because-
mother put a restraining order
Yeah,
on who?
On Julia Bice in June 2025.
Okay, so there's conflict going on.
Yeah, oh yeah, and nothing's been de-escalated, the same judge just approved restraining orders against
So
the
it's
neighbors.
between the two families?
Yeah, I guess so.
Okay. Now, if somebody got probation, what happens on probation? What is probation?
Probation, it means, you don't, operate out of bounds of the stipulations of the probation.
Like what?
I'm not sure,
Like
but
what kind of rules do they have?
I'm not familiar, I've never gone through this before.
You've never been on probation before?
No,
Okay.
no.
What kinds of things do you think they make people do?
You probably have to report in, like maybe weekly, like I call a weekly number anyways to it.
Okay, report in to who?
A weekly number, I'm not sure who it is, there's no name on it, but it's like,
You report into a number,
It's a check-
phone number?
yeah, I call it weekly, it's like a weekly check, and it asks me if I'm out of work, if my situation has changed or anything like that.
Okay, so you have to report to them. Is that, what type of office is that?
I'm not sure.
Parole and probation.
I'm not even on probation, it's just a weekly check-in right
Okay,
now.
But I know, but I'm just asking you.
Okay, it's like a
what
hypothetical.
Probation is, yeah.
Okay,
So when people are on probation, they typically get an officer that's for their case, and that would be a probation officer, okay? So they have to check in with that person, and you're saying you do that with a phone number, right?
It's not, but the thing is, I'm on probation right now, it's
No, I'm
just
saying
one.
if you had it.
Oh, okay, yeah.
And, what is not allowed on probation? There's three big things you're not allowed to possess
Possess,
on probation,
probably, weapons,
right?
illegal, illicit drugs,
Drugs, and one more thing. What goes with drugs?
paraphernalia, I guess,
Okay. Can you have alcohol?
I'm not sure, I don't drink alcohol anyway, so,
So the answer to that is no, you can't.
yeah.
Okay, all right. And what happens to people who violate the rules?
They get, prison time, they get tossed back into,
Prison
I
time,
guess so.
If they had a prison sentence.
Yeah,
Okay, now, there's 3 basic pleas a person can enter in court, and then there's 2 mental health pleas. What are the 3 basic pleas a person can enter?
I guess maybe a no contest, not guilty and guilty.
Very good. Now, if I plead guilty to a judge, what am I telling the judge?
That you did it, that, or I did it, sure.
Yeah, that you did it, and then what happens to those people if they plead guilty?
Just, it depends if they,
What's
plead,
the big general thing that happens?
they could go to jail or prison, or they're
Jail.
put on probation, who knows?
Jail,
I
prison,
don't,
or probation, those are called a sentence.
okay.
Okay, now, if I plead not guilty, what am I telling the judge?
That I didn't do it, or there was a defense in why, I guess.
Okay. And what happens to those people if they plead not guilty, what happens?
Well, if they're not found guilty,
I'm not findings, before we
Okay.
do anything.
well, they go through
I
a trial.
just say I'm not guilty, yes, they go through a trial. And what's the risk of going to trial?
You could be found guilty, I guess.
Yes. And what's the worst thing that can happen?
You can go to prison.
You could. So the risk is getting the max sentence,
Right.
okay? Now, if I plead no contest, what am I saying?
That I'm not really sure about.
You're not sure what that means?
No, yeah, I'm not real familiar with
So
that.
do you know what to contest something means?
You're challenging.
Yeah, so no contest means,
Not, not challenging it?
that's right.
Okay, okay.
You're not challenging the charges, so that means you're gonna just agree to them. But you don't have to admit anything,
Alright.
okay? So try and remember things that I'm telling you know, the right answers I'm telling you, because we'll come back around and see if you remember them,
Okay.
okay? What happens to people who plead no contest?
I'm not real familiar about
So if
that.
they're agreeing with the charges,
It's kind of almost like making a guilty plea, but you're not saying guilty.
exactly.
That's strange.
So what happens?
I don't know.
If they agree to the charges and they don't challenge them?
I guess, I don't know, I guess they're guilty. That's strange.
And what happens?
They get some sort of sentence, I guess.
Correct. That's correct. Very good reasoning. That's absolutely right. Okay, now, there's 2 mental health pleas. Do you know what those are?
2 mental health pleas, I guess maybe insanity, or it maybe, God, there's one more, by reasoning or something.
So, there's a guilty plea and a not guilty plea.
Okay, so,
But they're mental health pleas, so what do you think they might be?
I'm not real sure.
One is guilty, but
Maybe, insane, I don't know, yeah,
it's guilty but mentally ill.
okay.
And that's a 2-part plea, right? Because you're saying you're guilty and what?
You're mentally ill,
Yeah, so there's 2 pieces.
okay.
So what happens is the 2 pieces that go with each of those. So what do you think what happens? For guilty, you get,
I don't know, you get maybe lesser time or more, that's strange,
maybe
to me.
lesser time, yes, but you get time because that's a guilty plea, right? And what do you think happens with the second part?
What's the second part again?
Remember we said that's a 2-part plea?
There's a 2 with mental illness.
Guilty, yeah. So for the guilty, you get a sentence, and for the mental illness, what do you think you get?
I'm not sure.
What do people get for mental illness?
I don't know. I'm not sure.
Just guess.
I don't know. They get worked with. They see a counselor maybe.
Yes, they get
Okay.
treatment. So, if they went to prison or jail, they might go to a psych ward and get meds or counseling or treatment of some sort. And if they got probation, they might go to mental health court or something like that. Because it's a sentence, but there's treatment also that you have to do
Okay.
as part of your sentence. Does that make sense?
Sure.
For
Yeah.
guilty but mentally ill, right?
Yeah. Instead of prison in lieu, you go to a mental health facility, I guess.
No, you go to a
Or you go to
prison.
prison
But
and.
there's a psych ward in prison.
Oh, okay.
And in jail, there's psych stuff in jail.
But then you gotta avoid fights and all that with inmates that might, you know.
Maybe, but you get a sentence with treatment
All right.
together. Okay? Now, the other one is the not guilty one.
All right.
And you said by insanity, that's correct, it's not guilty by reason of insanity. What do you think that would mean?
Not guilty, but reasoned by insanity. Well, I guess there's special circumstances that maybe, that you had some mental issue that I don't know, that influenced you to react in that way.
Okay. That's good. So they're not saying they didn't do it, even though it's a not guilty plea, it's not guilty by reason of insanity, so it's not the plain old not guilty where you just say, I didn't do it. It's not guilty by reason of insanity, so they're saying, I've had mental illness, severe mental illness at the time of the crime. The legal definition says they didn't know right from wrong at the time of the crime because of their mental illness. So, I shot the guy because I thought he was an orange.
Oh my gosh.
It just
Like
doesn't make
calling
sense.
Donald Trump Orange Man.
Well,
There's some political questions or governmental questions on
Okay, so maybe a different example.
That's it. Oh, God.
But it's an example of someone's so mentally ill, they don't know right from wrong.
Okay.
That's the plea they go with, and they have to go before the judge to prove they have that mental illness. And then if the judge grants them that, what do you think happens to those people?
I'm not sure. Well, they're not guilty. Then they just seek counseling. They speak to a counselor, I guess.
Well, they can't get a sentence because it's a not guilty plea. But, and if they're found not guilty by reason of insanity, a judge has found them not guilty because of their severe mental illness. So they can't get a sentence, but they have to do something. What do you think that might be?
I'm not sure. I guess they would get counseling, I guess, and
They go to a
some
hospital.
stipulations.
They go to a locked hospital.
Okay.
And since it's not a sentence, it doesn't have a time beginning and end. It's just indefinite until a judge believes they're not dangerous anymore.
All right.
Which could be forever.
Yeah.
Like if Jeffrey Dahmer went in there,
Right.
he'd be in there forever, wouldn't he?
Right.
Okay.
Well, he was accountable.
Well, he was. Yeah.
And he ended up dying in prison, I guess.
Yes, he did.
He was murdered, I guess. I think I heard.
There's a question if he was murdered or not, but yeah, he died. Okay. Do you know what plea you want to enter yet?
I guess not guilty.
Is there any other, do you want to go to trial?
I guess if you have to, I don't know. I mean, I did, you told me to not, told you already what, you told me to not confess to you, but, I mean, what,
That's okay, you don't
on
have to
the
confess
Facebook
anything.
post,
You don't have to confess anything. So, is there any other plea you might consider besides not guilty with your attorney?
I don't know what would be other, no contest?
Is that something you might talk to your attorney
I'm not real familiar about any of this. This is totally brand new to me, what's going on here. I had a domestic violence charge dropped in 2010. So I'm not violent. I don't have violent tendencies. I say stupid things I shouldn't have said, but otherwise.
So you said that was in 2010?
Yeah, in Ogden, Utah.
And was that, were you convicted of that?
No, it was dropped.
Dropped, okay.
It was dropped.
So who's the right person to ask about what's the best plea to enter for your case?
I guess it would, right now, I've had difficulties reaching lawyers. Lawyers are just not.
Okay.
I guess it would be the public defender, Kel Brock.
Yes, that's right. That's correct. Now, the reason that most attorneys don't talk to their clients at this stage is because when you're in a competency process, your case gets put on hold.
Oh, see, nobody told me that.
Well, now
I have
you
not
do.
heard, okay.
And so attorneys don't like to talk to their clients till the judge rules if they're competent or not. Because they don't want people saying, why are you talking to somebody who's not competent? So they wait to see what the judge says first about the competence.
Okay, because I called a bunch of lawyers and it's just, and they don't
Sometimes
say
they
any,
just get quiet.
they don't even say that, they're just, I had, I interviewed with Oren Johnson, and he had me drive all the way up to his place up here in Reno. He's an interesting guy, he's from the US Navy, and he told me like $50,000, and it was strange.
Yeah, so just remember that if the judge has ordered competency stuff,
Uh-huh,
you know, your attorney might just get real quiet till the judge rules on that.
so like, because I called attorneys and like, they're just, it's strange, so they have like, they look in the system to see if like I'm in the middle of a competent, and
No,
that's when
they'll
like,
know that you're in competency, because typically the attorney is the one that asks for the competency evaluations to see and make sure if you're competent.
Alright.
That's a step. And then, after we hand in our reports, the judge reads them and everything, and then they make a date for you to go in for your hearing, and then the judge discusses it. Okay? All right, now let's go back and see if you can remember any of the things I told you. So, what's the risk of going to trial?
you could be sentenced guilty in prison or jail time.
And what's the worst thing that can happen?
You get the full sentence.
That's it, the full sentence, right? You could get full sentence. Okay. Okay, now, tell me what the no contest plea means. So what does it mean to contest something?
You mean you're challenging it? No contest is, oh gosh, forgive me, I just.
So if you contest something, you're challenging.
Right, and no contest means you're just not challenging it and
That's right.
just,
That's exactly it.
okay.
And do you have to admit anything?
I'm not sure, just that maybe,
So that's, you don't have to admit guilt or innocence, you're just not gonna argue.
Oh, all right.
charges,
Okay.
All right, and so what happens to those people?
They get some sort of sentence, not the
That's
full,
correct.
they don't get the full sentence, they get some sort of,
They might get a less one. Okay, now, what does guilty but mentally ill mean?
you get prison time, but you're in a, also, you go see a mental health professional within the jail system
Correct.
or prison system.
All right, what does not guilty by reason of insanity
It
mean?
means they put you into a mental health place, like it could be like Mallory, set maybe a step more security wise.
Yeah, so Lakes Crossing, if it's around here, or if it's in Vegas, it would be Stein. It's a forensic.
Okay.
Okay. Now, what's the job of the public defender?
It's just to do a truthful representation, to get all the facts, everything, a thorough, I guess, investigation on his part.
And are they for you or against you?
Oh, well, they're supposed to be, well, God, depending.
Supposed to be what?
They're supposed to be defending the defendant.
Yes. That's right. Now, what about the DA, the district attorney, what are they trying to do?
They prosecute.
Right. And what do they wanna see happen?
Oh, they probably maximum sentence, I don't know. They want some sort of plea,
They want to try to put you where?
just in prison, I guess.
Yeah.
I guess what they say, it's weird, who's the devil's advocate in this scenario, you know? You know, it could be both sides. It's interesting how, because in a sense, the prosecutor's defending the plaintiff, and then the public defender's defending the defendant.
Correct.
Okay.
Now, what's the judge's job?
Is to judge, you know, to judge the situation, maybe if he feels like he's, you know, both sides are admitting facts, that he does his own investigation maybe, and then he leaves it up to the jury, I guess.
Okay. So judges don't investigate. They can leave it up to the jury if there's a jury trial. But there's another thing called a bench trial that you can choose whether you want a jury trial or a bench trial. If you choose trial, a bench trial is when it's only the judge, there's not a jury, you just tell your story to the judge and the judge decides.
Alright,
So you can pick which kind you want, okay? So if somebody's found guilty, then what does the judge do?
he issues a sentence,
And what does the jury do?
that they deliberate,
Over
and then they make a decision
Over what?
over the facts that's presented,
What are they supposed to decide?
whether there's guilt or not guilt, or, what was the third one,
No.
no, just guilty or not guilty, okay.
So a plea is different than a finding. A plea is, here's my thing, judge, here's what I say happened. A finding, a verdict, is when the jury or the judge decides, you did it or you didn't do it, that's it. What do witnesses do in court?
They tell their side of the story,
Okay, how do they know anything?
either hearsay or actually witnessing the event.
So, what happens if it's hearsay?
I'm not sure, I'm not real sure,
I don't think you can admit hearsay.
okay. But just what they actually witnessed,
There's different kinds of witnesses, all right, there's an eyewitness, what does that mean?
they were there,
Yes. And then there's a, character witness, what does that mean?
I'm not real sure, maybe somebody that might know the situation.
They know the defendant,
Okay,
and they're gonna talk about their character. Oh, he was a great guy, oh, he was a terrible guy. Okay. And then there's, an expert witness, what's that?
they're detailed, they have the details, I guess,
Of what?
of the situation.
Okay, what do you mean by that? Tell me more. What's an expert witness?
Like they have maybe a full awareness of of whatever happened.
So, an expert witness is a professional, like a fingerprint guy, or a blood splatter guy, or a doctor, or somebody who's a professional that can say things to the court to help them figure things out.
Alright,
So Dr. Wildman and I are expert witnesses. If we get called to court, we testify on what we experience when we evaluate people.
alright,
So who's the defendant in this case?
that would just be me.
And can anyone make you testify if you went to trial?
Could anyone, I guess, the public, or the prosecutor, public defender,
No, no
Or
one
the-
can make you testify.
oh, no one? Oh, wow, okay.
You know why? Because you have a right to remain.
Oh, anything you say will be held against you in the court of law, I guess.
You have a right to remain what?
Remain silent,
Silent. That's the Fifth Amendment of the Constitution.
yeah.
Do you know what it protects you from?
The Fifth Amendment of the Constitution protects me, I'm not real familiar.
What's a bad thing that can happen to you if you get up there on the stand and start talking?
I'm not sure.
You could self-incriminate. You could
Oh, okay.
accidentally say something that gets taken wrong or makes you look bad, and who's the person that's gonna question you to make you look bad?
Well, it'd be the prosecutor.
Yeah, so they could twist what you say. That's self-incrimination. That's the
Wow.
risk of testifying.
Well, they want a truthful prosecutor then, I guess that's not
Well-
biased.
They all have their job to do, don't they?
I guess so.
So, if your attorney advised you, don't testify, don't get up there and talk, let me talk for you, would you follow that advice?
Yeah, I guess I would have to.
Why?
I get to not be self-incriminating.
Yes. Yes. Very good. Okay, now, what is evidence used for?
To prove or disprove,
What?
what happened, I guess.
And what's it used to show about the defendant?
Whether they're guilty or not.
That's right. What evidence do you think they might try to bring against you?
I don't know, they sent, I don't know, what Crystal sent me was just like, a picture I took of what went on. They have a camera aimed at our house 24/7.
So pictures and.
Yeah, they have, and you open the garage door, the camera just sees through inside the garage door. It's
Okay, what else might they have besides pictures that they were taking of it?
I wouldn't know.
Do they maybe have, the post?
Yeah, I guess so. I guess they would have the post for sure.
Okay. And how strong do you think the evidence is against you? Strong, medium, weak?
Well, it's a Facebook post, and what am I? If I say something to you, you're gonna say, you already told me earlier. I said,
Okay, so
that's.
you can avoid that answer. Who's the best person to ask about the strength of the case against you?
I wouldn't know.
Who's the best person to ask?
What, the public defender?
Yes.
Okay.
Okay, very good. All right. What's a plea bargain?
I guess you enter a guilty plea and they give you a lighter sentence.
Yeah. Very good. There's another plea they sometimes let you do. What would that be?
A what?
What would that be? There's another plea besides guilty they sometimes accept.
God, no contest?
Yeah.
Okay.
You're not admitting anything, but you're not arguing the charges. Okay. So do you still go to trial if you accept a plea bargain?
No, I guess not.
That's correct. Would you consider a plea bargain and talk it over with your attorney if you've got a good one offered to you?
Sure. I mean, I
Alright.
said something to you earlier, and then you're like, don't tell me.
Well, I
God.
mean, this is not about guilt or innocence.
Right.
We kind of want to know what happened, but you kind of told me that you understood what they're saying. That you posted something that was threatening, and then there was a TPO. And
Right.
That post allegedly violated it, and so that's
Well,
all.
they arrested me once in June 2025, and the DA then was Stephen Burns, and he didn't want to press charges. But then in August they arrested me again, and that's when he pressed charges. So.
Make sure you discuss all that with your attorney. So, why would you want to take a plea bargain, or at least discuss one with your attorney?
Well, you don't want the full prison time.
Right.
You avoid nasty scenarios with other inmates that are into dominance. Stuff like that. You can get.
Avoid nasty inmates?
Yeah, like there's like confrontational inmates that they want to fight or whatever. You hear in the news or whatever. You can face more time. If you get into more drama in the prison or the jail system.
Yeah, you could. So can you give me an example of, in your opinion, what a good plea bargain might look like?
I wouldn't know.
Who should you ask?
I guess Kel Brock.
What happens to people who keep saying no to all the plea bargain offers?
They go to trial.
Very good. All right, so you know your attorney's name is Cale Brock. Do you have confidence in Mr. Brock's ability to help you?
I kind of don't.
Why not?
He didn't tell me right off the bat that it was 1 to 5 years. And I don't know, I heard from the district attorney that they could have 2 cases on me. He keeps telling me there's just one right now, that's all he's seen is one. So it's just, I kind of feel like I've been misled, but I kind of, he's got the letter. He took the letter from me that John Schlegelmilch wrote to my father, has the same name as me. My father is no longer alive. He was a juror for State of Nevada versus Ryan Joe Coddington in 2016. So.
Okay. So you think something about your father being a good juror has something to do with this case?
I don't know. He wrote my father a letter. He was a juror, and I'm just unsure. There's could be a conflict of interest if the judge, Camille Vecchiarelli, who approved the restraining order to begin with, recused the case out of bias. And what's interesting is the letter that Schlegelmilch wrote to my father was discussing bias in the court system. And so I handed that when I was on February 9th at 3rd Judicial District Court. Cale took the letter from me. He wanted to read it and see it, and I'm not sure what he's going to do with it.
Okay.
So, I mean, that could be to install some confidence in me that, you know, he'll fully look into things. So,
Okay.
I mean, I guess that should be my hope there.
Maybe possible. How should you help your attorney?
Just all the details that they ask for.
I'm sorry?
All the details he wants. Just give him all the details that he
Yeah.
asks.
Okay, do you feel like you can do that?
Yeah.
Do you feel like you, can tell your attorney all the circumstances that happened surrounding your arrest?
Hopefully. Yeah.
Should you tell your attorney everything you know and remember about
Well,
that?
would have to, yeah. Yeah.
Okay, have you read your police report?
Just the, not really, they sent them to me in email, and he basically said that I didn't provide enough, evidence, you know, on the phone for them to not make the arrest, and so they arrested me. So, yeah, I read that portion. As far as I'm aware, I think I've seen everything that there is, so, that Crystal and Cale Brock sent to me so far.
So you feel like you've seen everything there is?
Yeah.
Is there anything you disagree with Mr. Brock about right now?
Just what I said to you earlier, that I just feel like he hasn't, you know, just kind of felt like I was being you know, he didn't tell me some things, you know, about, like it was a 1 to 5 year prison sentence, and
So you feel like he's not telling you everything?
yeah, that and the DA, when I called their office, you know, they told me that, and he's telling me that all he's seen is just one case so far, and so it's very strange.
But you feel like there's two?
Well, this is what they said, so I don't know. He's telling me the one, so if I'll take his word on that, you know, then that's fine.
So he said there's one case?
Yeah.
Why did you think there was two?
Because I called the DA's office, and they said that there's two. So I called Cale Brock immediately after, and he's telling me that there's one, and you're telling me that there's one that you see, so weird.
You're confused?
Yes.
Okay. But you said you're gonna take him at his word.
Yeah.
When he says, no, there's one case.
I'm gonna have to, yeah. I mean, unless I can find another lawyer attorney, he's court appointed, and hopefully, you know.
What do you mean by unless you can find another attorney?
Well, because, you know, I feel like I would like to, you know, see if find another attorney if I can.
So you might wanna fire Mr. Brock?
Well, I don't
That's
want
what
to.
you have to do in order to get a different one.
Yeah.
So is that something that you wanna do?
If I can only find another, otherwise he can just keep representing the case.
Okay.
It's just kind of iffy, you know, because he's court appointed, you know,
Yeah.
how could there not be a conflict of interest going on there? If the court wants to, you know, they'll tell him how to represent the case, I guess. Is that a possibility?
What was that?
Well, since he's court appointed, if the court has Camille Vecchiarelli recused out of bias, if there's a biased agenda, the court, if he's court appointed, they could tell him how to do the case, you know, how to defend, you know.
You think that the court tells the attorneys how to defend?
Well, if he is a court appointed attorney, which he is, that could be a possibility. So, I mean, otherwise, if it's not, you know, go ahead and be I guess my defending mouthpiece.
Okay. What can you try to do to resolve it if you have a disagreement with Mr. Brock?
I wouldn't know.
Do you expect any problems in telling Mr. Brock what you remember?
Not at the moment. I already told you what I did, and you told me don't confess to you. I mean.
Well, you know, we don't need that part, because we're not about your guilt.
Okay,
We wanna know if you understand what they're saying,
yeah,
and we wanna know your kind of, if you disagree with what they're saying, or if you think that, if you understand what they're saying.
yeah, they're yelling at me from the front yard, and so I got tired of it, and you don't, anyway. It was a stupid Facebook post. I had no, just really upset, and how, they're attacking my mother verbally, to the point my mother had to put a restraining order on them, and it's an exchange of restraining orders. It's ridiculous, and there should have been a better way of handling this, and it wasn't,
So they were
de-escalated.
verbally attacking your mother?
Yeah, my mother was being harassed, so my mother put a restraining order on them in June 2025. My mother, Susan Lori Dunn.
And then this charge here, you're saying that you, were just venting?
Yeah, yeah.
You had no intent to do those things?
No.
So, did you understand at the time, when you were angry and venting this stuff, that the TPO said that you weren't supposed to contact them at all even?
Well, that's the thing. They're constantly yelling at me, and so I avoided saying anything in the front yard to them, and so I just went on the house and gone typed a stupid post, and that's almost like.
So you were in their front yard?
No, I've never been on their property. It was in my front yard.
Are your yards near?
We're right across the street from each other.
Oh, okay.
It's very ridiculous what's going on around there. It's almost, it's very strange.
Okay.
No, I don't want nothing to do with their property. They invited me and my mother over for a hot dog and bean dinner in 2022 after my father died. I haven't been over there ever since. My father used to complain that they're very nosy and all this stuff, and it's dumb drama.
Okay. Well, tell me again what confidential means with your attorney.
That means it's just between the two, the client and the attorney.
How did the police come to arrest you? Like, what made them know about what happened?
They went over across the street and heard their side of the story and came over and heard mine, and they made the arrest on August 5th. They're saying the post was made August 3rd, and they made the arrest on the 5th, 2 days later.
How were you supposed to behave in the courtroom?
Just be reserved. Just just be quiet, I guess.
Mm-hmm. And when can you speak out loud in the courtroom?
When they ask,
Who asks?
I guess the public defender or prosecutor.
So can the prosecutor talk to you if you're not on the stand?
I guess only if I'm on the stand, otherwise no.
Okay,
A lot of the stuff, you see it on TV, how they.
right. And can you, if the judge asks you a question, can you answer it?
I guess so. The public defender says go ahead and speak. I guess so. But maybe the judge is the final, so
Yeah.
you would. I guess would. Regardless, yeah, I guess so.
Okay. What happens to people who cause a disturbance in court?
Oh, they get. They can get fined more time. I guess they can get fined more time.
Yeah. They can get another charge. Do you know what it's called?
Contempt.
Yes. Have you ever had any problems with that in court?
I've never been to court trial ever in my life.
Never been to a court trial, but
That-
have you been to hearings and
No, I
never been into court?
no, no. This will be a first.
What do you think, do you think anybody's gonna lie about you in this case?
I don't know. It's possible.
And how do you talk to your attorney during court proceedings if court proceedings are going on and not cause a disturbance?
I just whisper, I guess, in his ear or something.
That's right.
Or you just have me go out in the hall, say something to them if
You
they
can't
would
just
read.
leave, but
Right,
you
okay.
can whisper, you can write a note.
Okay.
How's your mood today?
All right, I guess. Just anxious about it all, honestly. You know, who wouldn't just, otherwise, don't like holding on to false hope. I guess when people have anxiety because they're unsure about the future and just, so.
Yeah.
But I mean, otherwise, alert, a little sleepy. Robert called me Bob called me this morning, like around, maybe 8:45, 9 o'clock, right around 9, yeah.
How old are you, Mr. Dunn?
45,
What's your date of birth?
November 12th, 1980.
Have you ever had any suicide thoughts?
No,
Not now either.
no,
How about homicide thoughts?
no.
Ever heard voices that bother you?
No, I just have one voice in my head, that's mine, that's it. You have a conflict of words in memory in your mind all the time, at least, but no, just my voice, or my tone of voice in my head,
Okay.
just thinking voice or whatever when I think to myself.
And how's your sleep?
It's fine.
How many hours are you getting?
Average 6 hours, 6.5 hours. I think I got this morning probably like around 5.5 hours.
And
One question. When I called you at 9, you said you had just woken up.
Yeah. I just right before you called, I woke up and the dog was making noises, and so I just I might as well just get up. I was laying there in bed.
5 a.m.?
Right around 4:30, yeah, somewhere around there, yeah.
What makes you stay up so late?
Huh?
What makes you stay up so late?
I read.
What do you read?
Just online articles, news articles, and news.
That's really late.
I mean, most nights I get to bed probably around 1 or 2. But it's the weekend, so it was a Saturday into Sunday, so.
Okay.
There's no international law on what time to go to bed or wake up, right?
No.
Okay. So yeah, it's the weekend, so. But most mornings I'm up around probably around 8, 7:30 or 8.
Okay. Can you tell us what today's date is?
Today is the 15th,
Um,
2026,
what month?
February,
Where are we located right now?
Reno, Nevada.
Do you think you have any mental illness that gets in your way or messes up your thinking or that you might need help for?
Just things cussing.
Cussing?
Cussing, yeah, or my family issues to be straightened out. My mother and my sister are just not on friendly talking terms. It's been like this for years, and the same goes with my mother and their sister Bonnie Gilpin. My mother is morbidly obese, so I have a lot of anxiety what's going on in my life, and I'm concerned for my mother. They're almost 75. They don't have a mortgage fully paid off. They say the house is homesteaded, but you hear on the news a lot, Donald Trump, they just weird talks of wars and prices going up, and I would love that my mother gets that mortgage paid off and gets down to a healthier weight. They go to a Mormon church, and they just are overeating.
What's your appetite?
I eat twice a day and one light snack, and that's it. I keep my weight around 160 level, and that's it.
How tall are you?
Probably around 5'10", 5'9.5", 5'10".
Have you ever had psychiatric medication before?
Seroquel, Prozac, Seroquel is all right if they don't over prescribe me. If at 400 milligrams, 300 milligrams is too much. Or like 150 range is about right, but otherwise it gets way too much.
What
But
happened?
it's very weird. I almost have like a breathing issue falling asleep on it. Like almost
Oh,
like,
you fall asleep on
yeah, I haven't, it's been discontinued. Prozac didn't do anything. When
it? What were they prescribing it for?
well, at the time when I went through the domestic violence case that was dropped in court, I was depressed over that, so they was prescribed to me Prozac and Lamictal. They just went through,
Lamictal?
yeah, they go, because they guinea pig you, they're trying to figure out what the right pill is, what a dosage, and
And, this was when?
2010, and,
In 2010.
yeah.
How long did you take the meds?
probably like 2 years.
And this was right after you got charged with domestic violence?
Yeah, and it was dropped, the case was dropped. I was going through depression, so it was suggested to take, it wasn't court ordered or anything. I sought,
Were you suicidal?
no.
Okay.
And then in 2022, I went to Mallory and they put me on Seroquel, back on Seroquel for a while.
Okay, what happened that got you in Mallory that time?
Me and my mother, she put a restraining order on me.
Why?
That's because my father just died and we were just kind of just clashing a little bit over his death. So,
Have you ever been admitted into a hospital for these things?
no, just voluntarily checked in. And once I said, my mother also put a restraining order on Julia Bice back in 2020. It's a dumb conflict what's going on.
Did you get a diagnosis from anyone at Mallory?
I was just depression.
Depression?
Yeah.
And how about at, where did you get the Seroquel and Prozac in 2010?
That's a good question. I think it was God, I cannot remember their name. It might have been Carolyn something.
Was it a private psychiatrist?
Yeah, actually McKay-D, the doctors in Utah, you just go in and tell them you're depressed. And another one,
In Utah. Why were you in Utah?
I lived there. I lived there in Utah. My mother works for the federal government for Department of Defense.
So you lived there with your mom?
Yeah, both my parents.
For how long?
14 years. And then they moved out here to Nevada.
When did they move here?
2015.
And so you still live with your mom? And
Yeah.
You said you have siblings?
Yeah, my sister lives out in California. They actually
You have two sisters?
just one.
One sister.
Yeah, they're
One sister in California.
yeah, their mother-in-law is Carol who's Silver, who's we've
Where
got
in
3
California did you?
Emeryville. Yeah.
And your father passed when?
November 24th, 2021, a day before Thanksgiving.
So, in 2010, who was the domestic violence, who did they accuse you of doing domestic violence against?
Amy Fotheringham. Is that, are you looking for the name of a person?
Well, yeah, who was that?
Amy Fotheringham.
Was she a neighbor or girlfriend?
Yeah, sort of like girlfriend met at a job when we were living together. It was weird. They were an alcoholic.
Who was an alcoholic?
Amy. So we clashed.
So she was a live-in girl.
Yeah.
Have you ever had a job?
Yeah, I've had many jobs.
What type?
Warehousing, internet troubleshooting wasn't very good at with that. That's pretty much it. Warehousing was really my thing.
And how long did you work at the warehousing?
I've had multiple warehouse jobs just off and on for years. I worked at Coca-Cola, worked at HC Brill. They're all temp jobs.
Were those all in Utah?
Yeah. I'm on Social Security supplement disability.
Okay.
So,
And what is that for?
I got like autism, something going on.
Yeah.
I've had
You
it.
were tested for that?
Yeah, it's sort of there. It's not fully diagnosed, but It's there. I have some issues. I also had a bunch of stomach surgeries, and so the
This was all diagnosed in Utah.
well, no, here in Nevada.
Oh, here?
Yeah, but when I was a child, I had a go-kart accident, roll in my head, and just for several years just had just cranial pressure pains, and they
Oh.
suspected concussion. And my mother applied for food stamps back in the 80s, and they were
How old were
autism.
you when you got that?
6 years old.
And, so you've been on SSD for how long?
Since it was approved, and I applied in 2022, and 2023 it was approved.
How much a month is it?
630 something a month.
Every month?
Yes.
And you live with your mom?
Yeah.
Okay. All right. And then, when you got the domestic violence charge in 2010, that was just conflict with your girlfriend?
Yeah, and it was they dismissed the case.
Okay.
I forgot the judge's name. It was dismissed in 2010 though.
Did you ever have competency,
Nope.
evaluations before?
No, this is my first one ever in my life.
Okay. And you said you took, the meds, Seroquel, Prozac, Lamictal.
But it wasn't all at the same time. It was all like a guinea pig process, trying to trying to figure out what the right pill was. Seroquel turned out to be the right one, but it's just they get me up to 400, 300 milligrams. It's almost like I have breathing issues when I fall asleep.
So you'd like to stay under 400?
Like 150 is fine, but 300 milligrams is problems. I'm really logy during the daytime.
It makes you groggy, 300 or more.
Yeah, and I have troubles breathing when I fall asleep. Like when you get like 150 range, it's all right there.
Okay. And when you took Lamictal, what did that do?
I got a rash.
Oh, you
Rash
got
of breathing. I'm allergic to penicillin too.
And then in Mallory, you had some conflicts with your mom when your dad passed,
Right.
and she put a TPO on you because what did she claim that you did?
Oh, no, we were just clashing, arguing. Yeah, the judge dissolved it. My mother went back on it and had it dissolved because it was we needed temporary.
But you got sent to Mallory, your mom took you.
I know, I went there by myself.
Voluntary.
Yeah,
And they gave you Seroquel,
yeah.
and that helped you calm down.
Well, I wasn't intense anyways. It was for anxiety, just really just depressed about everything that
How long
happened.
did you take the Seroquel that time?
Until they discontinued it, till it ran out. Let's see, it was 22, 23. It ran out 2023. Yeah.
Ran out.
Yeah,
And
it
then
just
you
is.
didn't go back and
Yeah, because they tell you they don't want me on it just the rest of my life.
Oh, okay.
So when it ran out, and so.
So it sounds like you may have a few autistic characteristics or symptoms.
Asperger's,
Asperger's.
yeah.
And then you, sometimes get too angry and.
Not even that's the thing. I don't get angry. I don't have a temper, but like if somebody raises their voice, then you tend to talk louder.
Gets you upset.
Yeah, but I don't beat on objects. I don't hit walls. Nothing like that.
But sometimes you say things.
Yeah, but I'm not.
Angry things.
Yeah.
Okay. So now we know not to do that online.
Well, right. Yeah.
Okay. I think I have everything I need from this. Do you have any other questions that you wanna ask before I do the ilk, or do you want me to wait until you're done with the
Why
ilk?
don't we let him finish that first?
Okay.
Okay, and I just have a few questions. Billy, is anyone trying to harm you?
No.
And then I wanted to do this. It's kind of repetitious, but I need to do it in this order. I know your experience with the court is pretty limited, but do you know what that is, what that's?
Looks like a juror, judge's bench, and, the seating area for the defendant and, the prosecutor, or whoever, the lawyer, and
Okay, but just what is that room? What would you call that room?
the courtroom.
Okay. Please point. In the courtroom, where does the judge sit?
That would be right here.
Okay, okay. Where does the jury sit?
Right here.
Where will you sit?
Well, I guess it would be here on the right, and the prosecutor would be on the left.
Okay, where will your attorney sit?
Typically it'd be right here, and next to him on the right.
The same table with you or different?
The same table.
Okay. Where do the witnesses sit to testify?
I guess it would be over here, be on that side, and the public defender would be there.
When they're testifying, giving testimony?
I'm not real familiar. I guess it would be on that table.
Okay. Where do the people watching the trial sit?
Behind this, bar, this is almost like a barbed wire fence, but it's
Yeah,
not.
they call it a bar.
Like a battle zone.
Right. Billy, what does the judge do during the trial?
He observes and makes judgments, and you know, instructs when the prosecutor and defendant to talk, I guess.
Okay, controls the courtroom.
Yeah.
If the defendant is found guilty, what does the judge do?
Well, he does the sentencing.
Okay. What does the jury do?
They deliberate
About what?
about over the facts, what's been presented from
And
both sides.
How do they present the result of that deliberation?
No, they go into a meeting room, I know that, you know, and
And they come out and say what or what?
I'm not real sure, I've never done this
What
before.
do they decide?
Whether it's guilt or not guilty.
Okay, that's right. What, will your attorney do,
Gosh,
supposed to do?
and just speak on my behalf, I guess.
Do what?
I guess speak on my behalf,
Oh, okay. Okay, what about the district attorney? What does the district
and then
attorney
speaks
do?
on the plaintiff's behalf.
For or against you?
Well, against, yeah, I guess against.
What do the witnesses do?
They just, I don't know, they just tell their, whatever, they tell what they observed, what they witnessed, I guess.
Billy, again, what are you charged with?
A TPO violation.
What does that mean?
That means, I went against the order, I guess.
Okay.
You know, the thing is, they went out of their way and they're constantly yelling at me, and they never had any stipulations on this TPO violation. It was like just very strange.
Right, okay. How can you help your lawyer defend you?
I don't know, just tell them what happened. You know, tell them how my mother also put a restraining order on them.
What if your attorney has questions of you?
Well, I would answer his questions. Yeah, just answer them.
Now, this is repetition, so you don't have to answer, you don't want to, but briefly, what happened that led to you being charged with violation of the TPO?
They were yelling at me, so I typed it, you know, didn't yell at them back. I just went, typed something on a job group, you know, just totally irritated at how I can, you know, they're even harassing my mother, and they are allowed to just say whatever they want, apparently, and it was never even on the TPO, that they can just say whatever they want, yell at us, and I'm not allowed to say anything back, so I just went and typed stupid message in social media group.
Which social media?
Oh, it's Facebook.
So you typed, a nasty message?
It was stupid threat message, just tired of what was going on, yeah. They told you, Susan told me to not bother to tell you, now you're asking me to tell you. This is very confusing.
Well, yeah, I know, I'm not writing it down.
Okay, yeah, but I mean, you can go and tell
You're
somebody
fine.
else about whatever. Okay.
What do you mean we can go and tell somebody else?
Oh, I don't know.
Who did we say we were gonna send our reports to?
I don't know, just to the judge, I guess.
The judge and two more people.
Okay, I guess the Brock and the public, or the prosecutor.
Correct.
Okay, I'm just really
That's it.
confused because they just like, don't say anything incriminating, and just like, God,
You don't have
just be
to.
truthful,
You
you know?
You can say anything you want to.
Yeah,
I'll-
I'll just be, you know, the people say honesty is the best policy, but then there's truth, so what, you know, I'm very just, it's very odd, this whole situation's odd, and it's very foreign, you know?
Yeah,
So.
I didn't write it down. Yeah, I know that it is confusing.
Yeah.
Okay, if the jury finds you guilty on this charge, what might they do to you?
Well, they just put on the max sentence, I guess.
What would be the max sentence?
Well, it said 1 to 5 years, so I don't know.
It sounds about right. Oh, yeah, I did want to ask one question. Yeah, I understand how, people say things to you you don't like, you get mad, and you didn't yell back at them, but you wrote something on social media. Was that a smart thing to do?
Well, no, but it's not, like, they keep yelling at me, they even harassing my mother, what are we supposed to do, you know?
Mhm.
So at that point, just, God, yeah, I wish I would've said something that was less confrontational, like I wish these people would just stop doing, but I think I typed it at times, they think they're gods with that restraining order, and,
Right.
Well,
my,
there is something you can do.
what,
What do you think that is?
I don't know.
They can say whatever they want.
Well, the
They're
judge-
yelling at you.
The
What
judge,
do you-
if I couldn't have gone up to the judge and had them file a restraining order back on them because they recused out of bias, so the judge admitted that they were biased.
Well,
So,
you can call the police,
yeah,
tell them, and then they'll be the ones in trouble.
yeah, they didn't do a very good job at de-escalating, they really didn't. It's very strange out there.
I think they said you threatened to harm this woman.
It was on the post, I mean, the intent wasn't there, they're doing bodily, you know, just yelling, I mean, just last week, they were yelling at me and my mother, you know, and so my mother called the police out last week, you know, and he went over, and they weren't there, they left for church or something.
Did you say you couldn't tell the judge because the judge, what?
Wait, what?
You said, when I said, what could you do? You said, well, couldn't go and tell the judge.
Well, I couldn't, yeah, because the judge was biased, the judge ended up recusing the case out of bias, so the judge wouldn't have accepted a restraining, or me filing a restraining order on him,
What
because
does
recusal means they decided not to do the case, and they forwarded it to Lori Amadeus, because they were biased. Camille Beccarelli admitted in the recusal that they were biased, so, and so Lori Amadeus picked up this case from Julianne Bias that's against me.
Did you have any intention of harming somebody?
No, I typed it and it was stupid, it really just aggravated.
Dumb thing, like
Yeah,
I'm gonna kill you, or.
No, I didn't even, it was stupid, it was dumb.
I mean, sometimes people will do something and the other person say, well, I'm gonna kill you, but
Yeah.
I had no intention of doing it.
No, I didn't even type kill, you know, it was just stupid, it was just angry, just tiring at how me and my mom can't, they're just constantly harassing, and because they have a restraining order, it's like, oh, they're running behind, you know, like like somebody's doing the bullying and they run behind a bigger person for their, yeah, and that's what this was all about, so.
If Mr. Brock said, well, you know, we can't change what's on Facebook, they got a picture of that.
Right.
As you know, but would you be willing to explain to the jury that you were provoked and you were upset, and sometimes you run off at the mouth and you didn't mean to do it?
Well, I would have to, yeah.
You'd be willing to get up on the stand and tell
Yeah.
the jury that?
Yeah.
What if your attorney said you shouldn't?
Well, then I would have to, what's the best course of action to take? Listen to the attorney if he's not, you know, if he's, you know, not biased, then I would take his instruction, I would have to take his instruction in that scenario.
But you feel like that's risky because he might.
No, I don't know, I'm just saying if it's just very weird how a judge recused out of bias, that kinda says something like, is there gonna be any more biased people in the, do you have, do you wanna see, I have the recusal letter on my person, I could show it to you from Camille Beccarelli, but,
Yeah, I'd like to hear more about that. I got real confused about how that recusal relates to this case.
well, because they were in charge of the case to begin with, and they recused out of bias.
Who's in charge of the case?
Well, now it's Schlegel Mills, but Camille Beccarelli was the original judge of this case, and they recused out of bias, and they put it to Lorianne Matthias, who
How do you
did,
know it was all done?
because it says right in the document, on the court letter, they sent it to me, Kel Brock sent the letter to me, and it says,
They have a bias.
yeah, right on,
Oh,
So
so,
you had one judge and then that judge recused.
and said they were
this
biased.
woman judge is now handling the case.
Yeah, and they tossed it over to Schlegel Mills for arraignment.
so when a document says a judge recuses.
It's right from the
themselves,
judge. The judge admit right on the document, signed their name, Camille Beccarelli, and biased.
So when a document says that, a judge recuses themselves off of a case because of a bias, that means that they're saying, I don't think I can be fair and neutral here because I have something that makes me think one way or the other already. So I'm gonna give it to another judge that will be neutral.
Right, I guess
Do you
so.
think that was a good thing or a bad thing?
Oh, I don't know. I don't know. This is all. This is all very new to me. I'm not really sure. I'm unsure.
What about the new judge? Do you think she's biased or?
I don't know. I'm not real sure, but they do have the same middle name as the plaintiff. They both have Ann in their name. Lorianne Matthias and Julianne Bice. But the thing is, it's very strange, I just hope it's not biased, but I mean, already one judge admitted to being biased, so hopefully this isn't a trend going on here.
So the new judge has the same middle name as who?
As the plaintiff,
Who's that?
Julianne Bice, yeah.
Oh, so the middle names are both Ann,
Yeah, and
and so that might be a bias.
I don't know, it could be.
Thanks for explaining that.
What's a lay witness? Anyway.
Lay means not a professional.
Okay, alright,
Regular.
okay, like a layman in the church.
Well, yeah, somebody who's not in a professional role, like a neighbor that's not the plaintiff, or some friend, or family,
Alright.
or coworker.
Is there anything you wanna tell us that we haven't thought to ask?
No.
Yeah, we just have two things that I think are left. One, to finish the decert, and the other, the ilk. So I don't know if you want to order.
Now, then he can do that at his leisure.
Oh,
Yeah, I'm hungry.
Okay.
I had some Cheez-It crackers this morning.
How
So,
nutritional is that?
yeah, it's alright. I had coffee and I was just thinking, God, I don't know. It was weird. I had called it like around 9
yeah.
and so I had to get going like around 10 to 12 and I'm just like,
Alright, so
at
I'm
least-
gonna read some, statements to you.
Okay.
About court stuff, the way court works. And you just need to say true or false.
Okay,
And if you don't know, you have to guess. You have to tell me one or the other.
alright,
Okay, ready? Okay. The person charged with the crime is called the defendant.
true,
Correct. A defendant might plead guilty to get less time in prison.
I guess that's true.
Correct. Sometimes the court reporter decides the sentence for the crime.
The court reporter, that's, I guess, false.
The defendant has the right to a trial.
That's true.
Correct. The judge is supposed to assume that the defendant is guilty.
The judge is, yeah, true. I guess, or guilty or not guilty. Can you repeat that one more
The
time?
judge is supposed to assume that the defendant is guilty.
Oh, no, well, no, it's false.
Witnesses are supposed to tell the truth when they testify.
That's true.
Correct. The defendant does not have to testify at his trial.
Yeah, I pretty said it's true, I guess.
Correct. In court, people are supposed to do what the judge says.
That's true.
Correct. If the defendant pleads guilty, he is saying he did not commit the crime.
That's true. Or there's, yeah, certain self-defense. I guess that's true. If they plead, they're saying they're not.
If they plead what?
Wait, was that again?
If the defendant pleads guilty,
Oh, that they did. They did.
he is saying he did not commit the crime.
Well, if they plead guilty, well, that's false. Yeah, that's false. They're saying that yeah, gosh.
All right, defendants convicted of the same crime always get the same sentence.
I'm not sure. I don't
You
know.
gotta pick one.
It's the, I guess that would be false if
That's correct.
okay.
The defendant must plead not guilty to get a plea bargain.
To get a plea, they would plead guilty, so I guess that would be false. To get a plea, they
Correct.
would,
If the defendant testifies, he only has to answer questions from his lawyer.
if the wait, who?
If the defendant testifies.
That's a false because he would have to answer from, I guess both?
Correct.
Okay.
If the defendant has a question about his case, the best person to ask is his lawyer.
Yes, that's true.
Correct. The prosecutor tries to prove that the defendant is innocent.
Or guilty, God, that's kind of a trick question. The
Want me
prosecutor,
to read it again?
sure.
The prosecutor tries to prove that the defendant
Oh, no,
is
it'd be
innocent.
guilty. I guess that'd be false.
Correct. Witnesses are supposed to tell the court what they know about the case.
True.
Correct. The defense lawyer's job is to convict the defendant.
The who?
The defense lawyer's job is to convict.
No, that would be false. They're,
Correct. Trespassing is a more serious crime than burglary.
oh gosh, well, it's false. The burglary would be more severe.
Correct. If the defendant takes a plea bargain, he will be found not guilty.
Takes a little to be guilty, it would be false.
The defendant has the right to know the charges against him.
True.
Correct. The judge must be told everything that the defendant tells the defense lawyer.
True.
That's incorrect.
Wait, what's the question again?
The judge must be told everything
Oh,
that the defendant tells the defense
yeah,
lawyer.
gosh, yeah, forgive me,
It's hard to pay attention,
because this is all very new. It's never been,
so maybe think a minute before you answer.
okay.
The judge is supposed to be against the defendant.
No, he's neutral.
Actually, I missed your answer on the judge is supposed to be told everything the defendant tells the defense attorney. Is that true or false?
I would say that's true.
Oh,
Yeah?
sorry, I
It's
missed that
this.
piece.
Okay, so the judge is supposed to be against the defendant.
No, that's
That
false.
would be correct.
In neither parties, it would just be,
The defendant's family is not allowed to testify.
I don't know. I guess maybe, depending, my mother put a restraining order on them across the street, maybe. The defendant's family,
Is not allowed to testify.
I'm not real sure about
You
that.
gotta guess.
Now, what do you think? A family member could testify?
They could do
True or false?
both, I guess maybe depending both, I
So do you think it's true or false that they're not allowed to testify?
I think could be false.
Correct. The defendant can help his lawyer with the defense.
Yeah, we're supposed to assist, yeah, true.
Correct. At a trial, the defense lawyer can question all the witnesses.
Yes, that's true.
Correct. Once the defendant pleads not guilty, he can never change his plea to guilty.
I think that's false, because if you offer a plea bargain.
Okay? True, that's correct. The judge is supposed to make sure that the trial is fair.
True.
Correct. A defendant who violates probation can be sent to prison.
That's true.
Correct. Shoplifting is a more serious crime than armed robbery.
Oh, no, that's false.
Correct. The defendant can give up his right to a trial,
Oh, that's true.
correct? A misdemeanor is a more serious crime than a felony.
That's false. It's the other way around, yeah.
That's correct. If the defendant misbehaves in court, he can be charged with contempt of court.
That's true.
Correct. A defendant has the right to a speedy trial.
That's true.
Correct. Defendants found not guilty can be sentenced and punished.
False. If they're found not guilty, then that's okay, yeah.
Correct. The prosecutor can force the defendant to testify.
Yeah, I guess so. Yeah, well, wow.
Okay, that's
Yeah.
incorrect.
It is correct, okay.
To convict the defendant, he must be proven guilty beyond a reasonable doubt.
Oh, that's true.
Correct. The defense lawyer is supposed to help the defendant.
True.
Correct. The defendant is allowed to know the evidence against him.
That's true.
Correct. It is a crime to lie when testifying in court.
That's true.
Correct. The defendant can never appeal a conviction.
Oh, gosh. Depending false?
Correct.
Okay.
One of the judge's jobs is to sentence defendants who have been found guilty.
True.
Correct. Taking a plea bargain keeps the crime off the defendant's record.
False.
Correct. If the defendant committed the crime, the defense lawyer can make him plead guilty.
The defense lawyer can make him plead guilty. Gosh. I guess, maybe he could suggest, I guess, I don't know. That's
Is
strange.
that true or false?
True?
That's incorrect.
Gosh.
Your defense lawyer
Oh,
can
no.
make
Wait,
you
he
plead
can, well, he
guilty.
can, he could maybe suggest, oh, God.
Can make you plead guilty.
Okay, alright.
The judge is supposed to assume that the defendant is not guilty.
The judge is supposed to assume, no, false. He's supposed, whether they're, huh?
That's incorrect.
Wait,
The judge is supposed to assume that the defendant is not guilty.
oh, yeah,
You
yeah,
said it was false.
well, I was saying like either way, either guilty or not guilty, that's what he's,
Well, they're supposed to assume you're not guilty.
oh, okay, alright.
That's right, you're not guilty until
Uh,
proven.
yeah, okay, alright.
The only pleas that the defendant can enter are guilty and not guilty.
No contest, false, no, because there, I guess, no contest.
The prosecutor tries to prove that the defendant is guilty.
True.
Correct. The defense lawyer can let the defendant lie in court.
No, false.
The defendant may plead guilty to get a plea bargain.
True,
Correct. The judge is supposed to listen to both sides.
true.
Correct. If sentenced to probation, the defendant goes to jail.
Oh, gosh, false?
Correct. Few defendants have the right to a lawyer.
No, I guess everybody has a right to a lawyer, right to attorney.
So that would be
False.
correct. Only the defense can call witnesses.
No, the prosecutor, that's false.
Correct. The judge is in charge of the courtroom.
True.
Correct. A gun could be used as evidence in an armed robbery case.
That's true.
Correct. If the defendant pleads guilty, he's admitting he did the crime.
True.
Correct. If the defendant is found not guilty, he can be tried again on the same charge.
Oh, gosh, I don't sure about that. Maybe false?
Correct. The defense lawyer's main job is to assist the prosecutor.
The defense to assist the prosecutor if it's false?
Talks between the defendant and the defense lawyer are supposed to be private.
True.
Correct. A felony is a more serious crime than a misdemeanor.
Felony is more serious, that's true.
If the defendant is very poor,